Hey, this is Kevin from Good Old Boys Fantasy Football Podcast. If you want more information like you're about ready to see, go ahead and hit like and subscribe to support this independent podcast.
Rachaad White getting kind of the elevated move here since Leonard Fournette no longer on the team. He finished RB 38th last year, 129 rush attempts, 441 in yards, one touchdown, 50 receptions, 58 targets, 290 in yards for two tutties. Thoughts on Rachaad White?
Really like where Rachaad White is going. Tampa Bay is going to be much more balanced this year. They do not have the talent at quarterback like a Tom Brady, and I would not be surprised to see this closer to maybe 54% pass, 54% pass and 46% run when it drops down. So it's a 10% decrease in passes for those of you who do simple math there based off the stats last year. And Rachaad White has like zero competition. So I like where he's going. And in drafts, you can get him at a steal. A lot of cases, you're able to pick him up late fourth, early fifth. So if you do tend to go RB heavy, you could easily have him as your third running back and a guy who's probably going to be a pure workhorse, barring any sort of injury or fumbling issues there. And I think you're going to really like that because this guy has top-end RB2 written all over him. He has breakaway speed and can flash for some of those big plays. His pass pro, I think, will get a little bit better on top of the fact that the offensive line will be healthier and better. They were dinged up last year. All those spell big things for volume for Rachaad White. And if you can get him in, like I said, the fourth or fifth round, that is a value. Pick him up. You will be happy for doing it.
Yeah, and Derek, I see him going in that 60 range. So that's right around fifth round area, right? 63 is where I see him at. 24th running back off the board, which is wild because, yeah, he is going to be running back one. He does have a little bit of a touchdown vulture, at least as we've seen in the past, kind of behind him. So that's a little bit concerning in terms of what we may hope for out of his production. But the big thing that you have to be curious about with Rachaad White is, will there be a sophomore slump? Because we didn't really get to see a whole lot of him as the featured back last year in this Tampa offense. There was one game that he had over 20 carries. He had 22 carries against Seattle in a win against Seattle, went up over 105 yards. Didn't find the end zone in that game, which is a little disappointing because that would have been a creme de la creme game right there. But you can see that there is at least some purpose. And really towards the back half of the season, you can see his productivity tick up. You know, he's got double-digit carries in 2, 4, 5 of the last 8 games. So that's pretty nice to see.
Coming off the board late fifth, even early sixth type of deal there. I've even seen a few drafts where he's kind of come off the board, coming off closer to the late sixth, early seventh type of thing.
Please.
And that's just.
Can you guys please do that for me in our home league?
Not a chance. Not a chance. Zero chance on that one, right? Like he's coming off the board kind of right there, RB 27 in a lot of cases is where I've kind of see him going and seen him going at, which I think he'll outperform that. And I think that you've got a very solid RB2 there. And if you can pick up a guy in the late fifth, early sixth, as what really is probably going to be more of a depth piece, flex piece for you in a lot of cases there, you're going to see incredible return on value there because I think that he'll sneak up there and get probably mid RB2 type of deal, right? Probably closer to RB 18, somewhere in there, I think is probably where we see him finish when it's all said and done there. And yeah, this is one of those, right? Kevin, you hit the nail on the head as well when you talked about more of a balanced attack there. The quarterbacks that are in play there also tend to check the ball down a little bit here as well. So Rachaad White is no slouch when it comes to catching the ball and making something happen through the passing attack there as well. So I think that he is very well in play, and I think he's going to be one of those guys that can kind of pivot your draft there a little bit and pivot your season for season long there. Spending a 5th or 6th round pick on this guy, and that is nothing but value return there.